too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us.
What's up, everyone? Zan from Forward Progress Madden, and here today I am going to give you, by request, about 3/4 of a game. A lot of people have been sending me messages on YouTube, to my inbox, instant messages on Skype, emails, that they want to actually see how I implement the 4-2-5 live and in a gameplay setting. They're telling me that the tips are nice on their own, but it's easier to actually see how the defense plays in action rather than me just throwing a tip out there and you guys being forced to adapt to it. Now, let me stress that the setups are totally how I feel my opponent is going to play on a given down. Like I said, the defense itself is entirely your choice on how you want to play it. You can play it a man, you can play it zone, you can run man zone, you can run zone with man mixed in, but this guy really struggled against it. So I'm not going to say that he was the best player in the world, because he wasn't, but at the same time, he did make some good reads in which I had just snuffed out what he was going to do. You'll see those as we're going on. Now, bear with me a little bit. This is my first commentary, so we're going to actually have a few rough spots, I would say, within this. But as you can see, he's pausing to make some adjustments to his team. But while he's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and say, I really hope you're enjoying this 4-2-5 defense. So, you know, if my work schedule is a tough one, I work a 1 to 10 p.m. shift during weekdays, so I'm on at night and I'm on before I go to work. So just hit me up. You know, I'll be on, but I'm more than willing to lab with you. As you can see, he's going to receive the ball first. I'm not sure why he chose to, but that was a clue to me at the beginning of the game that this might not be as great a film or as entertaining a game as it could be. I did best I could to make some nice defensive plays to keep you guys entertained, but at the very least, like I said, you're going to get to see what I'm doing live. As you can see, I'm coming out in the 4-2-5 flipped. Like I said, the free safety middle three is my base play, so coming out in this, and I'm really just trying to get a feel. I see he's in a single back set, but I'm going to go ahead and just get a feel for what he's doing. You know, he runs kind of an obscure run. These are the runs that are the toughest to stop, the ones that, you know, you're not used to facing single back 3 tight ends, you know, but, you know, it's one of those things where you just start to get a feel for him. Here he comes out 2 backs, so I immediately audible to the 4-3 over plus, and he just really has nowhere to go. He's only picked up 1 yard on his first 2 plays combined. I know he's throwing on 3rd down, so I'm bringing the pain this down. Get Clay Matthews over at the right end, and see, this is actually a setup I showed you, the bunch, and he goes to the wide trail, which is the play I showed you in the video, and he is just sacked, nowhere to go. So 3 plays, -6 yards, my ball right off the bat. You know, and that's what the defense is designed to do. It's designed to kind of confuse your opponent. You know, it's one of those things where you take at least a half to get used to what I'm going to do, and I can adapt it at any point on you here. So really, I'm just kind of getting a feel for my opponent. I'm really only sending 3 or 4 guys a down, but I'm choosing my spots, and I'm playing it safe. Here on offense, not going to lie, not a very good game on offense for me. I went back to the Cleveland offense. I was running the West Coast, but that's one of my good lab partners, Dream Killers. That's his offense. I actually ran the West Coast offense in New York City with only 2 days practice and completed 90% of my passes. It's just a shame that I fumbled 6 times in 4 games, and that's kind of how I lost in the tournament. As you can see, the first down, I'm already, you know, looking like a moron. I pick up 12 yards with Rodgers on a scramble, but I did have pass options open. This was the offense that I ran pretty much all year long, this Cleveland, but it's definitely showing some rust here. I'm really just trying to get a feel for what my opponent likes to do. If he runs man zone right here, you know, I just hot routing like an idiot, you know, streaks and fades. I use Starks with the motion behind the quarterback for better protection, and really that should have been picked. That was a terrible read, but we'll take what we can get. Now, typically what I like to do against a team like the Ravens, for instance, a poor defensive player can take the Ravens and actually get a couple stops. So what I like to do is really just stay in the same formation for my first drive. I don't do a very good job of that. I kind of just audible around like an idiot the whole time. And really my reads are terrible. Right here I'm scrambling again. I just not in a good flow at this point. But at the same time, I'm not really showing my opponent what I want to do passing-wise either because I'm scrambling. So I guess you can say something was made of it. Here, I honestly don't remember what I do. This is the halfback far formation. And I threw an out route. Yeah, that was, again, not a very good read. If we had a better defensive AI, that would have been 2 picks for him already on this drive. But like I said, we're not complaining. We'll just take what we can get at this point. As you can see, it's really, this tight doubles on has been a popular formation all year. Here I actually make a good read. He's in cover 2 and his outside corner jams my outside receiver, leaving Starks wide open in the flat for the motion hike throw. Don't expect that to be in Madden 13. So if that's something you're doing this year, probably need to get off of it. I ran it because really I'm trying to score as fast as I can because I want to show you guys more defense in this game. And I actually do show you a lot more defense than I do offense. So I've got a 7-0 lead even though it was an ugly score on offense. The defense looked great. Looks like I've been running it all year, which I have. 10 months will tend to make a defense look like this. As you can see, I utilized the DE flip package to get my best rusher at the right spot on the line. See, he comes out again in like a pro set, so I go ahead and just audible to my run defense, play it safe. And right here is where I notice right away, he's already flustered. He's going to start chucking. And he attacks Charles Woodson deep, and I actually saw it and was quick enough to click on and make the swat, but you're going to see I make this adjustment right away. I noticed I had Torrey Smith on the left side, so I'm going to get Charles Woodson the hell out of the way. I want Charles Woodson on Bolden the whole game. So go ahead and switch him and Tramon Williams to have a little bit better speed on Torrey Smith's side. And what do you know? He comes out in a formation with Torrey Smith on the right side. So now I got Torrey Smith against against Woodson again, and I know that's really where he wants to go. So he does go up top, and I'm in place to make a pick. I just drop it. The reason I dropped Woodson to the opposite side is because he's the defensive back that when you flip the formation is the furthest back. Here I go ahead and I change up the pace. I've been bringing heat from the left side all day. So right here I'm going to bring it from the right. And this is possibly one of the best adaptive setups of the game for me. He's going to try to throw a curl to the right, and I've got Zombo sitting right there with heat coming off the edge. I haven't brought it all game. So I flush him out of the pocket, and he just throws it straight to me for a pick. These are the things that you pick up on as a player. I should have just kept running down the sideline there. That was a terrible play. That could have been ugly if this game was a close thing where, I'm fumbling an interception. So now I've got the ball on his 7, and you're starting to realize why I say that. I've been able to win games like 10-7 this year. The defense, the 4-2-5, it's just something that people aren't used to. It's something that's really stifling, and this is a terrible throw. Anyways, the defense puts me in better position to overcome my offensive inadequacies, I would say. I ran so much defense this year that I never got into the flow of actually labbing and learning an offense until New York City. Dreamkillers really did a good job preparing me for that tournament because, I went from a guy that completed probably like 55-60% of his passes to completing, I think I only threw 4 incomplete passes in 4 games. So that'll tell you how well the defense looked. This is actually a good read. He runs a soft zone, and I run the Z-spot concept. I flush his zones to the outside and throw a little release to the inside. So that's a good horizontal flood of the zones there for a touchdown. Probably one of my better actual reads of the day. And I've got a 14-0 lead right off the bat. My opponent really hasn't had a chance to move past his 30-yard line. I've not really shown a whole lot on offense because, 1, I sucked on offense this game, and 2, my defense has been keeping me down there near his red zone. So I haven't really had to open it up too much. This next drive, I've already got the lead. I know he's going to ditch the run because I've got a 2-possession lead, and I plugged that first run that he ran, kind of deterred him. When you have a good run defense, you typically will force your opponent to stop running the ball after 1 or 2 good stops. There, my opponent does a good job, and I notice right away he's running the screen pass. This is probably his blanket, his baby blanket, if you will. And he goes to it a lot more in this game, and I kind of adapt to it. Here, just more, I'm trying to bring the heat from the 4-2-5 off the left edge. And there, Clay Matthews rushes the throw up the seam, and Hawk picks it off. You know, like I said, the first drive I brought 4-2-5 right heat. The next drive I bring dime left heat. And then the third drive I bring the 4-2-5 heat off the left side. So now I've got a 14-0 lead with the ball at midfield. And I'm feeling good at this point. It doesn't matter how bad the offense is. You know, I'm starting to get in the groove a little bit. He runs a cover 4 look, or might have been a cover 3 there. Either way, the outside corner dropped. I throw it to Finley in the flat, and you know Finley's not going down without falling forward. So it's a good read there. Already in field goal range. Up 2 possessions in the first quarter. Here we read man coverage, and this is one of my favorite little gimmicks in the game. You're going to notice that the guy guarding Jennings just leaves him alone here. Oh, goodbye. And I'm in for 6. I will put that tip up at the end of the week. I know people are going to be bothering me for this one. I completely forgot I was streaming. You know, sometimes you do that. And you run something that you didn't intend to run on the stream. Not that I'm hiding it from you guys, but you know, it's something that if I were to release that early in the year, would have been what everybody in Madden did. Fortunately, I didn't have an HD PVR at that time. You know, so now we got a 21-point lead. I can really just come out and kind of ad-lib it on defense. I've really not given him the same look 2 drives in a row. And I can go back to any of those looks I want now, because he's seen 3 different looks from me, and they've all ended in turnovers. Here he comes back out in the 2-back again, and I know he has no intent of possibly running the ball. Here he runs a nice little wheel post combination, and I drop another pick. You know, he just is not in the flow at this point. I can't even recall if he's completed a pass to this point. You know, he's confused. He really is. I'm bringing 2 different formations that look the exact same. The heat comes in different positions, and I'm just dropping guys into zone all over the place. Here, you know, you can't tell if I'm in a cover 2, cover 1, whatever, until the very last minute. Here actually is forced to check down to Ray Rice, and you know, down 21. It's important that I go ahead and run a lot of 4 and 3 shells, some cover 2 occasionally. Make sure I'm not getting beat deep and giving up quick points, because at this point, if I make him take timely drives, he will not have enough time in the game to actually overcome this lead, especially considering I'm now 3 for 3 on offense, my drive. So I'm going to score more points as well. So as long as I make him take time to score, I'm going to win the ball game. So, you know, just coming out, really showing him the rover 2 for the first time in the game. Just a cover 2 look, you know, and he's empty. And he runs a tight end screen. You know, I'm right there for it. Run a cover 2, got a guy out there in the flat. So he really didn't pick up that many yards. Just making him work the ball at the field. That's important. A lot of people, when they get a lead, will typically try to step on the throat, which you can. That's important to not get soft, but it's important to run your blitz concepts with good coverage behind them. Like, don't run. This is just crazy coverage right here. That's a coverage sack if I ever saw one. But it's important, like I said, if you have heat, make sure you're not running it cover 1 man with a two possession lead in the 4th quarter. Run the heat out of a cover 2 man. You know, at least you've got coverage deep. Here he goes back to the screen again, and at this point, I'm really going to start keying in on how I can stop the screen, and he's just going to keep forcing it. Sometimes he's going to pick up a few yards. Other times it's bad news for him. You know, it's one of those things that you will learn eventually, is that right here I do it again. I give it up. But fortunately, who is that, Nick Collins? He makes a good play on the ball there. You start to learn that you don't want to be crashing your line the opposite direction of the running back when they're running slip screens on you. As you can see here, I go ahead and I bring some different heat coming from the left to the right to make sure that the screen is covered. And I can't remember if he converts this or not. This is quarters defense, so we'll talk to... oh, no, he gets picked off again. So we've forced 4 turnovers in our first 4 drives, or 3 turnovers and a punt. You know, if you want more information on that quarters defense, hit up my guy Dreamkillers. He's a great guy. He's willing to lab with anybody. When we were in NYC, he was talking to anybody that would listen about, you know, running certain concepts. So if you want that quarters defense, hit him up. Here I just read man coverage and give him a dose of his own medicine. I clear everybody out. You saw the 4 slant outs. I would not have thrown to anybody there other than the running back. If he was covered, I would have chucked it out of bounds and taken the penalty because I've had really no problem moving the ball this far. It's 28-0 right off the bat. I mean, at this point, there's no comeback for this guy. I can really just kind of sit back and kick my feet up. You know, at this point, I can test stuff out. I can go back to the same looks that have been giving him problems. He's really just going to start throwing the sideline streaks, you know, balls over the middle to the tight end up the seam, slip screens, all stuff that he's run all game, all stuff that he's already committed turnovers on. So it's up to me to just basically try to confuse him defensively. Here I'm in the 4-2-5, bringing the left heat through the left B gap, and he just completely chucks it right into my coverage. If I wasn't very rusty, I probably could have clicked on and made a strafe swat there. But we're okay with it. He only gets to the 49. So he's not even crossed midfield once in this game, and we're working on the second quarter right now. So feeling good at the very least. Here he just nowhere to go. Would have been another coverage sack. I can't stress enough that it's important to run the Cleveland book if you really want to run the 4-2-5. If you love the 5-2, stick with the New York Giants book, but I've never been one to get into the mainstream defenses ever. So here I'm out in the quarters again. Talk to Dreamkillers because I'm not going to break it down for you. And there, Bolden just breaks the shed. We do a good job of making it not hurt so bad, bringing him down. He's still got 25 yards to go. See if we can get a red zone stop and hold him to 3. Now, really, all of his big plays have come off the slip screen and bump shed, so I am not worried at all at this point. We're in the red zone, going to run a lot of cover 2. You want that too high look. Here he tries to run stick, and Charles Woodson's there waiting for him in the flat. So the cover 2 was a great call in the red zone because a lot of people are going to try to throw short and pick up the yards after catch to get them close to the end zone. There I ran zone in the previous down, so I'm going to go ahead and run man coverage this down if I believe right, to just get a little physical with him, try to hold him to 3 points on the drive. And really, the last down, he threw the out route, so he was trying to beat zone. Oh, here I actually stay in the zone. This time I go cover 3, different look, and this actually ends in a pick. So this is adjustments right here. He had not seen that outside guy drop into a flat zone. There I pick it off and get greedy and try to pitch it to Sam Shields. I don't know why it wouldn't let me. Oh, now I do. It's inside the 2-minute warning. It's a lateral, so I don't know why it's a fumble, but I lateral it back to Sam Shields, and it made me take the ball where I lateraled it to. So that's something EA might want to work on for next year because laterals are legal, forward fumbles are not. So, you know, back to the tight doubles on. He's running man. We caused him to switch, and Starks just takes a dump on my play there. This is where I really start to get rattled on offense, and I literally mean rattled. I was irritated as hell with that drop. And I just start to get really ugly here. You know, running crap I don't normally run. Terrible reads, drop passes left and right. Just playing like an idiot. Bad reads. So this is not a drive where you really want to watch me on offense. Terrible user catch on the rocket on the sideline. You know, I'm fully irritated because that Starks drop took me out of my rhythm for the drive. Fortunately, I'm up 4 scores. You know, not trying to make a joke out of it, but if this were a serious game, I would be in trouble right here because my opponent wouldn't concede like this guy's going to do here in a few minutes. But here we actually convert a 3rd down. A good delay, curl flat. The fullback delays into the flat and pulls the zones down for me to deliver the curl to Jordy Nelson for, you know, 12-yard gain, 1st down. Back out in the tight doubles on. I still don't really have a flow on offense. I don't have a semblance of what I'm doing. That Starks catch really took me out of my rhythm. Here, I don't know what I'm doing. This is the worst throw you'll ever see. I should break my Madden for this. What was I doing? You know, and it's good to see these things on video afterwards, because that's a throw I would make one in maybe a million throws. I would never ever force that. I should have just taken the coverage sack or thrown the ball out of bounds and lived to see another down. But I'm going to redeem myself with possibly one of my better user plays. Look at how I just jumped this route. Oh, man. Phew. That guy did not know it was coming there. I love how I dropped over the middle on that drag and then sucked back to the outside on the halfback sideline wheel. And that's something that you're going to have to do a lot this year with the Madden 13 audibles. The running backs going on wheel routes if you press up on the stick. The running backs running swing patterns to either side if you press left or right on the analog stick. And then the one I really love is, see that delay flat? If you hot route your running back down on the right stick, they will run that delay flat route to the side of the field that they're on. Here we go back to that same play that we ran to pick up the first down on the previous drive. And then I believe on this play, I go like a moron again. Yep, I do. I honestly did not see Jameel McClain drop with James Starks here. I thought he was wide open. I thought that was the freaking referee. So, you know, making excuses, trying to make myself look better, but really, at the end of the day, that's just a terrible throw. Don't make that throw. So, working on half here. I'm still rattled. Like, honestly, I'm making calls here that I should not make. I should be in cover 4. I should be in 2-man under, 3-man under. You know, there I actually call it and get good heat on him. He's trying to pick up short yardage. I don't know why. He's got to start moving the ball and moving it fast. And I'm going to pay for one of my calls here shortly because I know that the score was 28-3 at halftime. So, yep, I think this is the call right here. He might overthrow this ball. Yep, he does. That should have been 6 for him. I have my guys way out of position. If you could rewind the tape and look, Bush on the outside was nowhere to be seen on Bolden. He just overthrew it. So, really my offense is starting to carry over to my defense here, getting careless and stupid. It's important to get the hell over a turnover. If you commit a turnover, I don't care if it's a fluke fumble. Get over it. Get back on defense. Start running what you should do on. There, I actually set up awesome B-gap heat and give up the slip screen. You know, that's my fault. I should realize that's been his cop-out all game long. I don't know why I am blitzing on the running back side when he's in the shotgun, because I know he's really going to start running these slip screens like non-stop here. So, you know, we start running this cover 4 again with the left B gap, and he runs another slip screen. No, actually, that wasn't a slip screen. That was curl flats, I think is what it's called, or slot outs from the spread. So make him use his timeouts, keep him on the field, keep him from going out of bounds. Here we're just going to start ad-libbing a little bit. Again, you know, don't experiment when you're rattled. It's stupid. You don't really know what you're doing. Oh, this is how he scored the 3. That was terrible. You know, he threw right in my coverage. That's, you know, he's had 2 real bad throws up the seams into coverage that he's completed, and he's had probably 3 slip screens, and that's where he's gotten all of his yards. So, you know, I'm happy with the way the defense played this game. You know, it's one of those things where you play the way you're supposed to play, and you know the way you play the way football is supposed to be played, but he's still completing passes on you. There, Brad Jones does a good job prying the ball out, keeping him to 3 points on this drive. And I've got the ball at half, so if I can keep him to still a 4-score game, because if it's 28-3, 21 points for him would only make it 28-24, so I'm still up 4 scores on him. So it's important to keep it that way. There he goes to the fade, and Flacco just botches the throw. So this is where a decent player should learn not to do that again. But this guy is going to come out and try the same exact play. Not only am I going to be looking for it, as I'm going to be, you know, usering in that area, but why? Why? You just saw Flacco throw it out of the back of the end zone, and you're trying it to the slot. Don't do that. You know, if you're going to throw it this year, throw it to the outside. That brings me to my next point. In Madden 13, when you get inside the 10-yard line, If you hot route the outside receiver up on the stick, it's still going to be the same fade, and the auto fade catch animation is still in the game, but it's mixed in with several nice jumping, leaping type of animations, so it's a little bit more realistic this year. You're not just going to get the ones where the guy jumps straight up, catches the ball over his head, and your defensive back is, standing there with his thumb up his rear end. So there's some really, really nice wide receiver defensive back interactions this year on the fade balls in the end zone. But when you're outside the 10-yard line, if you hot route the receiver up on the stick, he's going to run the traditional fade with the outside release. It's called a forced outside release down the sideline. It's used to spread cover twos and allow the seams to develop a lot when you're in the middle of the field. So plan on using that when you're, say, even in this position. You could run that outside fade, spread out the shell, and work the middle of the field in this scenario. Here, I make another terrible throw. I'm just pissed off at James Starks right now. Terribly irritated with James Starks because my running game is, the Packers don't have a great running game. Aaron Rodgers is my running game. And James Starks is an elite pass-catching running back. He's 6'2", has great catch. He falls forward a lot. He's good after the catch with the wimpy slot corners on him and outside linebackers that he can outrun. So, this is funny. This play right here, Williams makes a nice catch over the middle, and Ray Lewis just, I guess, breaks him somehow. Right here, he tries to strip the ball, and apparently Williams is just dead. So, free timeout for me. I can go ahead and adjust what I want to do on offense. Here it looks like I'm back in the tight doubles on. Working the same stuff I've been working all game. Even though he's had a hard time stopping it, it's been ugly, but up here I run like an idiot with Rodgers. This whole drive is me running with Rodgers, if I remember correctly. He's gonna really look like Michael Vick here for a while. Now, this is where I'm a Chicago Cubs fan, and I have to listen to Lynn Casper and Bob Brenly announce Cub games all year long. And this is that point where the Cubs are down in the 5th inning, like 7-2, and Bob Brenly and them start talking about random stuff that doesn't pertain to the game. So I'm going to go ahead and do this right now. I'm just going to talk about other stuff. If you guys want, hit me up on AIM at ZAN71789, Skype at 71789. It's the same name, ZAN71789 on Skype. You can email me at zan@competeforever.com, forwardprogressmadden@gmail.com, or zan71789 Those are all emails that I'll respond to. I've got them all on my iPhone, so I get updates. That's a good read there. Got updates on my phone, so I can give you pretty much live feedback. This is my first game live, so it's hard. I couldn't get a sub game because it's, I'm trying to get this game out there so I can get you guys to watch it. The channel's growing rapidly. I really enjoy doing these videos. I enjoy the feedback. I've been doing this 10 days now. Only 10 days, and I've got over 150 subscribers and nearly 5,000 views. My boy iMav over at Madden Masterminds, he's told me that this channel growth is more than he's seen, and he might be the top Madden commentator out there right now. So he's telling me that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So I'm issuing a challenge. If any of you subs want to play a game next Friday that'll be uploaded to YouTube, hit me up because I'm looking for somebody to play. Win or lose, it's going to go up, so don't be afraid that if I lose, I'm the type that would burn you and just leave it there. I'm an upfront, honest person. I'm looking for a good game, so whether you just want to play to learn or if you want to play to actually compete and try to win a sub game, hit me up. The challenge is out there. Looking forward to hearing back from you guys. This is Zan. Until next time, guys, get in the lab, work hard. Thanks.